Okay, so the relationship has progressed. You really are liking this person, they're into you. You guys are communicating frequently, either by chat or by phone calls, hopefully video phone calls with all the apps that we have out here now that you can do. You're regularly seeing this person, they're regularly talking to you. You have been introduced to their family, and you have run around the town or wherever they live with them. You verified by talking to their friends and family who they are, and hopefully they're legitimate friends and family. Don't let them, run scheme on you. Ask them questions and certain things that you have been told by that person. Ask his family and friends about those scenarios. Ask him, let them know you need to fact check, right? And see how they respond, because that can help determine whether or not they're actually family or not. So now you want to talk to your family, right? You may do this to coincide with the time that you're meeting his or her family. But now you definitely want to start talking to your family, because they need to be prepared for what's coming. Like I said in the first video, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And at first, it may seem a little overwhelming, because it's going to take some time for that person, should you progress to a certain point, to actually physically be here. However, there are people in the U.S. who date for like 10, 20 years. There's some people that don't ever get married, but they're a couple. So what are you rushing for? If you're looking for a real relationship and that person is the one for you, you'll wait it out. Trust me, it's worth it, right? And so there is no need to rush things, because you definitely want to make sure that this individual is who they say they are. And then you also want to be who they think you are. I'm the type of person, I'm not phony or fake. I just say how it is, and I tell how it is. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna let you know I'm wrong. If I told my sister, for apologies, there's a 3-year waiting period, so if I gotta apologize to you, it might be 3 years out, but you'll eventually get it, right? That's not true of all instances, but with her and I, it's a 3-year waiting period, because she's normally right, and I hate it when she's right. But you know what? I'm getting off topic. It's not about me. However, you want that person to know exactly who you are, and that they're getting the right person. So if there's certain things that you don't like, that you're not going to be, that you're not going to do, you got to be yourself, so they know that up front. I think my husband can honestly tell you that I am who I am, and I am who I've been. I projected myself to be with him. There are some things where there will be cultural differences that you all will have to work through, right? American women are a little bit different. Most of us are a little bit different. And I'm just going to throw this out there. An American black woman is definitely a little bit different, right? There's certain things that we have to do, and there's this perception of who we are that may or may not be true, okay? For me personally, when you are a woman who has held it down, who's hustled, who's worked, who's had serious life experiences that have made you a certain way, you may not be the nicest person. That's the only way I can put it mildly. So we are a little bit different, but it's not that those differences can't be worked through, right? There has to be some adjustments on both ends and some compromise on both ends. But if you really love each other, you both will be fine. And because I really love my husband, I've been really making and working on adjustments. But we can talk about that in a whole nother level. And we will, as the series continues, because I'm going to drop some information, maybe just in my sub only, as I mentioned, because some of it may be a little bit personal. But anyway, this person has to know who you are. They have to meet your family. So how do you tell your family that you are in this relationship with someone overseas? This doesn't have to be limited just to Africa. It could be somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Asia, right? That you have found someone that you're interested in. I'm going to almost tell you that they may not be excited for you. Okay? Now, if he is African, the first thing that's going to come is, are you being catfished? Right? So that's why I'm telling you, do your homework first before you start bringing your family and your friends. Because the first thing they're going to ask you or be concerned about is whether or not you're being catfished and whether or not you're being scammed, or if you've given them money, right? Those are the things you're going to have to encounter. So already have your answers lined up, letting them know, making them feel comfortable and secure that you have done your homework and proven that this is the person that they say they are. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. Don't get mad with your friends and family when they have those concerns, because they love you. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. They love you. And they, if you've been hurt before, don't want to see you get hurt again. And they want to make sure that you're making a good decision. They want to make sure you're making a good decision because you may have children. Your children have to get to know him, right? So before you get and start bringing family into it, before you start bringing your children and friends into it, do your homework first so that you know who you're presenting to your children. It's the same way as if the person was here, right? Ask them pinpointed questions. And let's talk about that in the next video, some questions you want to ask them. This is your girl, Essie. Remember to like, follow, repost, subscribe, and share. I'll drop another video in a second.